Who do you think wins out of John Wayne Parr and Mundine, and why?
Yeah, I've been asked a few times this one. And
have you ever had anything to do with John Wayne Parr, boxing-wise, training or anything?
Not really, not a whole lot. Yeah, to be honest, like I think I've met him a couple of times before, but I haven't done anything with him before. But I think he has that style that may upset Mundine a little bit as well. I mean, he doesn't have obviously the skills, or the pure boxing skills. He definitely does have some, but because he hasn't been in there with so many boxers, it's going to be a little bit different for him. But in saying that as well, Mundine is sort of at the later part of his career, well, right at the end basically, and I don't. If John Wayne Parr fights a smart fight and puts the right pressure on him, I mean he stops him. I see it. The other thing, if John Wayne Parr doubts himself a little bit, gives him a little bit too much room, Mundine picks him off and makes it an ugly fight, and it ends up winning on points. So I think it could either go, it could go one way or the other. It just depends who applies what they're going to do the best on the night.
Have you had to do with Whittaker? Have you trained with him?
A lot, yeah. We've done thousands of rounds.
Does he hit as hard as they say he hits?
Yeah, he's powerful.
It doesn't look like he's not.
He's powerful, and he'll take your head off if he can. That's for sure.
So one of so we had John Wayne Parr on here the other day, and also we were talking about that before. So his 3 losses came from, like, I think it was McLeod, Hamden, and Whittaker, and he went 12 rounds with Sakio.
Yep.
And he said he was like the biggest puncher he's ever dealt with, and was in like a haze for a few hours afterwards.
Yeah.
Knowing that, and knowing that he was able to go those 12 rounds with someone like Sakio, does that, what's that indicate for you as far as him and Mundine? How different can you even compare? Are they too different?
They're different fighters, massively different fighters, but everybody knows John Wayne is tough, but it's for Mundine to stop him. I think it's like almost impossible, unless a stoppage can come from cuts, like the damage that John Wayne's suffered over the years with the cuts around his eyes and stuff. If he opens up at all, then that's going to work in Mundine's favour. But I don't think Mundine's got the power to hurt him. Like you said, he's been the distance with Sakio. He's been in some tough fights, so I don't think there's a question about Mundine being able to hurt him at all or stop him. Unless he headbutts him or something, but I
think stylistically though as well, like it's not a great matchup for Mundine, because like Parr is all throughout his kickboxing career has just been pressure, and you just said like your key to defeating that second time was just to take him out of his comfort zone, don't give him that room, stay in his face, and Parr's been super active.
One thing though, and I noticed about Tommy Brown fought Mundine, and Tommy Brown's like, he's a good mate, and he's trained at the gym that I trained at the Grange, and unfortunately when Tommy took the fight with Anthony, his team didn't come and ask me about it. They thought they knew what to do, and Tommy went out there with the intention of putting pressure on Mundine, and it's sort of, Mundine knew exactly what was going to happen, because that's what everybody does. The problem was Tommy got in close, not quite close enough, and just sort of stayed there, and that's what happened. He pretty much stayed there, and then Mundine used his speed, caught him with a couple of big punches, and the fight was over. So I mean, Mundine can still bang a little bit, but it's just depending if you can capitalize on that game plan. If you got to pressure him enough, you got to be in his face, you got to
pressure him the right way,
100% the right way.
Can you explain that? Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, you got to put him out of his comfort zone. If you're getting just close enough in range, Mundine will still hit you. If you're getting too close, making Mundine pull back, transfer his weight on the too far onto the back foot where he's going to lose power, and also Mundine's got a bit of a dirty tactic as well, where he loves to use his elbow. He turns away from the fighter in front of him, and he'll try and hit you with the elbow. He hit me with plenty of elbows. I don't know if that will work so good against John Wayne Parr, because I think
John Wayne Parr's seen some elbows.
he'll throw a couple of elbows back, I'm sure. But it'll be I guess interesting, because I guess it depends which guy can like I was saying, can capitalize on their strengths. And if Mundine can use that speed, footwork, keep John Wayne off balance, and John Wayne Parr's put too much pressure on him, or not quite enough pressure, then it's going to fall into Mundine's hands.